Today, I'm telling you about three regional zoos in the Pacific Northwest so that you know all of your options if you are in the area and you're on a zoo hunt. First up is the one closest to Vancouver, and that's the Oregon Zoo. It is on the west side of downtown Portland, so you most likely are going to take the I-5 bridge from Vancouver, from downtown Vancouver, over into Portland, and then follow your GPS. But it's like west of Portland over there. It's about a 30-minute drive from central Vancouver, and there's almost always going to be traffic through downtown Portland. So it could take you 30 minutes to get there, or it could be like an hour. So we all know how that works. Admission at the Oregon Zoo is $24 for adults, and children are $19. But this zoo and the other two I'm going to talk about, they all have discount programs for military members, or if your family is receiving any kind of like assistance of any kind, you can get a discount. In the past, I have done the Oregon Zoo membership because I did the math on that and figured that I would take the kids enough to go to like pay for the membership. So keep that in mind as an option if you're just like a regular zoo goer. And then really fast, quick blurb before I keep going. Thank you for watching my video. I make a new video every week on life and real estate here in Southwest Washington. If you like my video, take a quick moment to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a video. As I said, I'm doing a new video every week. I am a realtor here in Clark County, and if you stumbled across my channel as you were researching moving to the area, I would love to hear from you. I would be happy to chat with you about your upcoming move, what you're looking for in your home, all of that good stuff. I'm also an expert at helping people relocate to this area, and I would just absolutely love to be your guide through the process. So don't be shy, reach out anytime. My phone number and my email address are down in the description, and I'll put them here on the screen as well. Okay, back to zoos. The Oregon Zoo is tucked into the hillside, so it almost feels like a secret as you approach. You're like, where is this thing? Like you're going uphill and then it kind of like appears out of nowhere. So it's a very lush and beautiful setting. You don't really feel bad for all those animals in there. I went to the Phoenix Zoo a couple of years ago and I felt bad for some of those cold weather animals that were just trapped in the desert. It was so dang hot. We are definitely not the desert in the Pacific Northwest. And as you know, our weather is never very predictable. So if you're going to the zoo, make sure you wear your layers. However, the Oregon Zoo has your back as they have covered areas at most of their exhibits. So if it is going to start dumping rain, you have an area for cover regularly, like throughout the zoo, lots of covered areas. So this zoo has a ton of very awesome animals, exhibits, and attractions. I have taken my kids dozens of times and it never gets old. No one ever says like, oh, I'm so bored of this zoo. They also have a really fantastic amphitheater that hosts concerts and events. A couple of years ago, I did a walk for charity through the zoo, and that was really awesome because you get to like support charity, get exercise, and see a bunch of fun animals. Another great thing about the zoo is the variety of food available. Portland really likes their food trucks, and the zoo is no exception. They offer food cart options, and then they also have a sit-down dining area, or there's a couple of them throughout the zoo. And make sure that you try the elephant ears while you're there. They are delicious. Speaking of that, the elephant exhibit is always a favorite, and the new polar bear exhibit is very impressive. Parking is paid for using an app called Parking Kitty, which is that's a common one. They have that through lots and street parking in Portland and up in Vancouver. So sometimes I hate downloading extra apps, but that one is worthwhile. It's $2 an hour or $8 a day to park at the zoo. The lot is usually full by 10:30 on the weekend. So if it is full, you could take a shuttle from a lot nearby, or if you are brave enough, you can hop on the Max. You could, there's a stop in Washington Park, and that's just a little bit away. The next zoo I'm going to talk about is Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium up in Tacoma. It is right on the Puget Sound, about 45 minutes from downtown Seattle, and pretty close to the SeaTac Airport. It's about 2 hours, 15 minutes from Vancouver. More with traffic, as we all know. There's usually always traffic near JBLM, which is the Joint Base Lewis McChord, and that's right north of Olympia. This zoo, it's great for a day trip, or if you're in the mood for a little overnight stay. I recommend the Silver Cloud Inn at Ruston Point. More on that later. The zoo itself is small, but it's really great for kids and adults who enjoy the views and the ambiance. There's a small aquarium that showcases the sea life found near the Pacific Northwest, and there's another aquarium on site opening this spring, which features the life in the South Pacific Ocean. A family favorite was the touch pools where you can explore up close and personal the anemones and the starfish. Ticket prices are lower if you buy online, but adult admission is about $22 for an adult and $16 for youth. Our favorite animals here were the twin polar bears, a lone elephant that doesn't get along with others due to her life as a pet and then in a circus, and the walruses and sea otters right next to the aquarium. The kids zone had a great playground and a few small exhibits, and the amphitheater looked amazing. So this was the first zoo where we had no stroller or wagon, and the kids did great. The food for lunch was pricey but local and fresh. We spent about $54 on a cheeseburger, two hot dogs, a cup of clam chowder, a grilled cheese, and fries for everybody. All of it had a Northwest flair, and outdoor seating was tolerable in winter with a jacket on. Parking at this zoo was free. So I want to just quickly tell you about the Silver Cloud Inn at Point Ruston, where we stayed. It was less than a mile from the zoo and in a delightful shopping and dining area that's pretty new to Tacoma. Historically, this area was a landing spot for the ferry, which is still docked with all its old charm. There's extensive paved trails, gorgeous views of the Puget Sound, and lots of shops and restaurants that are within walking distance. There's a playground themed as a ship and public restrooms near the amphitheater. The hotel has a rooftop pool and hot tub, and it was well heated enough for us to enjoy in the winter. A fancy restaurant and bar was also on site, but we chose a more casual option for the kids. This felt like a very great, perfect weekend getaway. So just keep this in mind if this is something that might be interesting to you, worth the trip. The third and final zoo in the area is the Woodland Park Zoo up in Seattle. I am very familiar with this one as I went to UW, go Huskies, and while I was there, I took an animal behavior class, and one of the requirements was 30 hours of observing chimpanzees at this zoo. It was a cool school project to be able to like just go and log my hours and hang out with the chimps. So Seattle's about 2.5 to 3 hours away from Vancouver. You just head right up I-5 to get there. Again, depends on traffic. If you hit that backup at JBLM, that can add an extra hour or an extra 2 hours. So I recommend timing your trip carefully. The Woodland Park Zoo is on the north side of Seattle. It is near UW. It is near Green Lake. It's nestled into what my memory tells me is like Upper Wallingford. However, I moved away from Seattle in 2012 and I haven't gone back a ton. So this popular spot is usually included in sightseeing programs like City Pass, and if you enjoy the outdoors and animals, you don't want to miss it. This zoo is usually not too busy midweek. Adult admission is $20 for adults and about $14 per kid. I definitely was thankful for the wagon rental here as it was a lot of walking for little people. Our favorite exhibits were the African savanna, where multiple species are in one magnificent exhibit. It was very cool. And the Living Northwest portion of the zoo, which has a gray wolf and a brown bear that kept us entertained with all of their swimming in the water and attempting to catch fish for a while. There's lots of shade at the zoo, and though we didn't try the food, there were multiple places to purchase food, use the restroom, fill up water bottles, etc. Parking was also affordable at about $6 for the day, and this is probably our favorite zoo, mostly because it involves a lovely trip to Seattle, which is fun for everybody. If you'd like to hear more about visiting Seattle with kids, I've got a lot of great suggestions, so don't be shy if you want to reach out about that. Overall, I hope you found this video helpful. And again, reach out anytime if you have any questions. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.